No, and that's kind of where I am too. I just don't think that there's much to go from here. I mean, I was listening to Danny Cannell do his show, and because I like to get the national perspective of what people are talking about it, and the guys from like down south there, they were just like charges.
Yeah,
like it was such a foreign concept to them. Because my take hasn't changed on this. We've seen. You ever watch Florida State Miami? Mm-hmm. You ever watch them play back in the 90s? They did this on the regular at the 50-yard line.
It doesn't make it acceptable.
I know, but it happens though. You know what I'm saying?
I know it happens. So to the fact that I agree, you can't swing a helmet. And that's when it becomes dangerous.
I agree. And when we saw in the NFL, the guy got suspended. They moved on.
How do we prevent this from happening again? Right, and that's the whole thing, because whether you want to talk about it, it happened and stuff like this. So you got to say, how do we prevent this from happening again? And if something, like you said, there's a physical assault with the helmet, which cannot be condoned.
But we've seen it on an NFL field before.
I get it, right? And
no charges were filed or anything like that.
I understand. I just don't want to see the incident. What are they going to do to prevent the incident again? You know what's going to happen is going to happen. And somebody's going to be happy, somebody's not going to be happy. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that nobody got seriously injured. I got, it's sort of you mentioned, this stuff happens, and I know this stuff happens, whatever, like this, but it doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one that you compete, but it's I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite, because I'm also the guy that would have also, like, literally.
Should you have been charged, D-Mac?
What's that?
Should you have been charged 129 times?
You could charge me. I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter, right? I think it was a little bit different situation, and so you look at the Lemieux incident or whatever, like that was. I didn't get suspended. It was a different world, but the way that it was handled. You didn't get kicked out of the game. What?
I said you didn't even get kicked out of the game.
I got 4 minutes rough, and I scored the overtime winner. But what I'm saying is that in the field of battle or whatever like that, and I did something that I don't even condone, and kneeing a guy in the head, and he's got a welt on his head to this day to remind him not to be stupid, but I don't take it back. You could have charged me for it.
Yeah. But see,
I knew the consequences, and I didn't care.
Right. And see, for me on it too, like this whole people saying I want charges and I want arrests and all that kind of stuff. And everyone picks out what they want. What do you got, Spence?
I just want to say this is the one thing that pisses me off. Paul Thomas in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Mel Tucker could be charged for swinging at the fan. That's the only thing to be charged for me. So you're okay with fans reaching over and touching players and coaches as they leave the field,
right?
As they're on the field. I never want to hear you say anything bad about fans throwing things on the field, fans touch, because that's okay to you, right? That Mel Tucker had all the right in the world to do that.
Yeah, to take the fan's hand away from his head.
Yeah, a man reached over and touched him on the head.
And you know what? The fan got suspended from coming to games. Mel Tucker's cool with that. Everybody's cool with that. The guys get suspended for this too. I understand it. Here's the thing for me, and everyone takes that video clip and pulls out what they want and makes it fit their narrative. The thing that stuck out to me, there were police around that whole scuffle. State troopers, correct? Mm-hmm. We can all agree on that, right? We can all agree on that. I got to check in with everybody. They didn't think there was a crime being committed at the time, and they were standing there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't egregious enough for them to act right then, and they were there, and they're cops. I think it's a little much, man. Like, the arrest these kids and hurt their future and all that kind of stuff.